What is going on, good people? So for my project today, I actually put together a prototype application. This would be used for anybody that's studying for the Security Plus. So I'm going to go ahead and do a walkthrough demo of how this would work. So let's go ahead and get the application started. So we'll go ahead and get it running. Once this bad boy starts to run, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the site. All right, let's make this much smaller. We don't need that. All right, so cool. So as you can see, this is for the CompTIA Security Plus agent. First thing you're going to do when you get in here, you'll just put your name. So when you go ahead and start, then you're going to go ahead and hit commence session. Now I put this part in here because depending on how much time you have, maybe you only have like a 15-minute break, so you don't have that much time, or maybe you have a little longer. You can decide on how many questions you want to do, whether it's 10, 25, 50, or 90. Now, all of these questions are pulled from Professor Messer. Just in my opinion, he's one of the best sources online as far as having practical questions that are very, very much like the Security Plus. So basically what it does, it's going to take all 3 practice tests that he has, and then it's going to give those to you randomly so you can choose. So let me kind of show you kind of how that works. We'll just go with 10. So again, as you can see, if a user is authenticating through use of PIN and a fingerprint, which of the following could describe these authentication factors? I'm just going to go through and hit A for everything just so you guys can kind of see what happens. So when you get the answer right, it's just going to say correct. And then you can go on to the very next question. Now, what happens when, let's say you get the question wrong? Okay, we got A again. We got A again. Okay, got one wrong. So a couple things. Once you get the question wrong, if you scroll down, it's going to show explanation. This is really cool because when it says show explanation, it's going to, again, restate the question, all the possible answers. And then it's going to tell you, it's not only going to tell you what the correct answer is, it's going to tell you why it was the correct answer. But then it's also, probably most importantly, it's going to tell you why the other answers were not correct. And again, this is coming straight from Professor Messer's practice study guide. So this is very, very accurate to Security Plus. And then if you scroll to the bottom here, it'll tell you, because if you look at the objections of the Security Plus, it'll show exactly where you can go through to find this information when you go through the course objectives. So you can go back, study, learn more, whatever you need to do. But also there's a link to the actual Professor Messer video where he's talking about this very specific topic. So let's kind of just go through. And again, this is a prototype. I just want you guys to kind of see how this would work. Again, so you guys see again, got this one wrong. So if you go to show explanation, again, it's going to restate the question, the answers, but then it's going to tell you what the correct answer was and why it's the correct answer. But again, I think more importantly, why the other answers were wrong. And then if I wanted to go, hey, you know what? I want to learn a little bit more about this specific topic. Where would I go look at that? So I just go to the course objectives and I go to section 2.1 where it talks about threat actors. I might say, you know what? I don't want to read anything. Let me go actually look at a video. Well, if I look right here, I can just copy this link and then go right to the actual video, which it shows where that's at. So I think you guys kind of get the idea on that. Let's just kind of go through the course, finish it up here. Again, this is just a short demo to get a feel for this. I created something like this. I actually just took the Security Plus and I created something just like this for myself to study for, and it was really helpful. I only studied for it for about 4 weeks, so not a whole lot of time. But because I had this and I could very quickly go through this, it made it very simple. Let me see. So we'll go to the next question. So question number 10. So we'll finish up. Now, at the end, when you finish, hopefully you do better than, you don't guess all A's and get a 40%. It's going to give you a percentage, which is going to let you kind of know where you stand let you kind of know, are you ready for the test? But then it's going to give you the option to either play again. So if you want to play again, it's just going to it's going to re-ask you how many questions you want to do, which is really good because you might go through the 10. You'd be like, oh man, I went through those really quick. You know, let's do 25 this time, or let's do 50, or the actual exam can have up to 90. So that's why it goes up to 90. So this is a really great way to learn. Also, when you're going through and you're doing this test, it's going to randomly put these in. So it's going to go through all the questions before you even come back to answering the same one again. And the thing that's cool about this, like if I pull up, let me see if I can pull up Professor Messer's guide here. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up the actual PDF. Thought I had it. Okay, it's right here. So if you pull up the actual PDF where it's pulling everything from, let me kind of show you how this works if you kind of never seen this before. Again, there's 3 types of test: A, B, and C. So let's say the A test, right? What's going to happen is the answer to this, so A13, I would answer this, but then I have to go all the way down to the answers for A13. And then again, just like it shows you, it's going to show you what the actual answer was. Then it's going to show you why the incorrect answers were incorrect. And then again, it's going to show you how to get to the objectives. And then again, it's going to give you the link that's going to pull right up to the website. So if you're wondering kind of what that looks like, let me just kind of open that so you kind of have an idea. It's going to take you right to Professor Messer's site. It's going to link the video. And again, here's a 5-minute video explaining this particular topic. The cool thing about this is you're not just memorizing definitions. You're not just memorizing acronyms. You're actually understanding these concepts and learning what they mean. And one other thing I wanted to show you as well, in the top corner right here, this ID right here, this A86, this A86 actually goes right to, if I go back to the PDF and I went to A86, this is A86. So the security policies in the manufacturing company. And if we go A86, look at this. The security policy in the manufacturing company. So that's what this number over here does. And then again, it's going to pull you right back to that. And then, so yeah, just wanted to give you guys a really quick demo of what that looks like. I created that today in anti-gravity. And yeah, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.